I'll let you do it.
Hey! Oh,
check out the Marcus and Manny show.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
She does.
welcome everyone to another episode of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. I am, of course, Lord Manny. Hey, and I'm joined by.
Oh, Marcus. Oh, I jumped the gun. I am Jump the Gun in the Gun family. Marcus, the grand finale. Manny, how are you doing today? Welcome to another blessed day. You can tell, guys, I am no longer in a car. I am in a hotel room, which is upstairs from my car.
Well, so I have an interesting thing that might happen during this show. It is the 5th of November, which is Guy Fawkes Night, Bonfire Night in the UK. So you may hear random fireworks going off in the background, might be going on outside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to say, remember the 5th of November.
No. So there's fireworks going off. Yeah, there's fireworks going off all left, right, and center. So if you hear it, don't get scared. I haven't got pyro, although I'd like to think I have.
Man, if you do get a little pyro, turn that shit up. I'm good. It's not going to sound good. Probably come through the speakers, but you know what? It may actually sound like who knows? I may get gunshots. If you hear any popping, it's probably gunshots. Doesn't matter what location I'm at, whether I'm here in the Bay or if I'm down in Long Beach, it is probably gunshots. I am running for my life at that point.
So before we continue and move on to the rest of the show, what's going on with your country, bro? Why can't you count?
Well, I mean, seriously, I don't. Nevada needs to get their shit together. They should have came to us. To me personally, I would have did the count. I don't know what's going on with these counting, and like it's just gonna go on and on. I was looking right now, and they currently said that the counting will continue through the weekend in Nevada, all the way to next Tuesday, maybe.
So I'm
like, what the fuck are they even doing?
I was watching the news, and then I didn't know. I can't remember what state they were talking about, but they were like, they went home to go to bed. They stopped the count to go to bed. I'm like, what? This happens once every 4 years. You couldn't count through the night for once?
Yeah, we couldn't get a second shift.
Get a line change or something?
Yeah, can we get some substitutions? Like, go in there, take a nap, and get your ass back in there and count my ballots. Count every vote. But my favorite part are the people outside Arizona with machine guns threatening to come in there to get the people for counting votes. How dare you count these votes? There are people rather there, or if you look at Fox News, they have a different count than the other news channels because they've already declared that Biden has won Arizona, and they declared it very early on, but the count is still going on. And then so if you go to Fox News, they had their counting guy, the guy that did the counting, and they were like, "Hey man, you sure about these statistics? Because you kind of declared this over already." He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm defending what I'm saying. I think he's somebody who fucked up and thought it was over." And it's like, I hope this works out the way I think it is. I hope Biden gets Arizona. Otherwise, I'm fucked up.
Right, let's move on. Let's move on to some good old fashioned wrestling because that's what everyone else has come here for. So,
yeah, and we're not political people anyway. Although
I don't live in America, so it doesn't really affect me.
It affects the world, Manny. It affects the world. Imagine if Trump gets to continue to talk to Boris Johnson, they'll blow up the world. They'll blow up the world together, I feel like.
Those two are clowns.
Yes. We need some change. We need to change it up. I don't care who it is. Just change it up. I just need Trump out of office. Don't care what Biden does. Don't care what Kamala Harris does or whatever. Just get Trump out. He's my favorite president, but also the scariest president to ever have. Because even if he's announced as loser and he is suing, and I know it's a tangent, even though this is going to be drawn out like any wrestling storyline for months on end.
I want to get my rematch.
We're going all the way to we're going all the way to WrestleMania with this shit, and then the Backlash. That's how long this is going to drag out. And then on top of that, I can see him going like, if I didn't win, I'm not doing shit. And it's like, you still got to be president to January. I can see him going, no. I'm just going to sit here and pout.
Right, let's get on to some wrestling. So let's kick off with AEW Dynamite from the 4th of November. So it kicks off with Jericho trying to praise Hager for winning his fight. Although from what I'm being told, it was barely winning his fight. He is interrupted by MJF, but long story short, he called MJF SAWFT soft.
Well, I know you so soft, but my favorite thing, the biggest distraction for me was Jake Hager, because I was like, look at his face. That doesn't look like a winner to me.
He definitely looked like he lost that fight.
I haven't seen the other guy, but Jake Hager looked like he got fucked up and shouldn't be shown in public. And Jericho's like, look at his face, man. Look at him. And, they were saying that was probably a good fight and all that. And it may have been. I didn't see it. It seemed like it may have been a back and forth fight, something on the prelims of Bellator. But I was so distracted of just looking at his face, going like, damn, man. Nobody comes to work like this. You okay? You want me to put some ice in that, baby? Come on, chill out. So Jericho comes out with full entrance and song and singing along, and then I was like, why is he doing commentary today?
And then so I thought this was a pretty good match, and it's the first time ever, I think, for me, that I saw a Tower of Doom spot where the man at the bottom does not look like he died after it, and Wardlow just taunts it out and then pulls MJF to the other side and tags himself into the match.
Yeah, that was great. It was great, and finally wrestling made sense, because the Tower of Doom style has never made sense, in which the guy that powerbomb goes, oh,
yeah,
and passes out right after.
I haven't understood it for years. It just never made sense.
Yeah, there's no damage to you. You threw the other guys off. You should be good.
So Matt Hardy, dressed as Serpentico, throws a chair at Sammy, which I generally feel bad for Serpentico, because the only time he ever gets on TV is when other people are dressed up as him.
That is true. Like, if we did our Survivor Series and our fantasy points, Serpentico would not get any points. Like, you would think you have points for getting Serpentico. Like, oh, there's Serpentico. And then Matt Hardy take a mask. Oh, God damn. I thought I had points again. Fucking Serpentico, the world's greatest AEW disguise.
And then MJF picks up the win and makes his way to the announce table, tackles Jericho through whatever behind them, a sign, and just to prove that he isn't soft.
Yeah, I don't see the logic in him attacking him. Why would I want to be in your faction if I think you're? Why would I want you in my faction if I think you're soft? And vice versa. Why would I attack somebody like that if I wanted to be into their faction?
Yeah.
It didn't make sense to me.
So we move on. I'm going to pair these packages together. Kenny Omega references that they are a sports-based product, that wins and losses matter, and that in theory he should had a bye into the finals, and Adam Page struggled against Wardlow last week. But you don't bet against Kenny Omega in tournaments. He is destined to be the next AEW champion. This is where JR is interviewing Adam Page about his strategy against Kenny, says he knows all his moves and how to reverse all of them. JR thinks he's lying and says, I think you're nervous.
JR, you're a liar.
JR was basically like a lawyer. Like, I call bullshit.
Bullshit, man. You don't know that man's move. You're not ready for a Snapdragon. You don't know. He didn't know he had one ring angel or a V-trigger. You ain't ready for that shit. You're a drunk. You're a drunk cowboy.
Yeah, and I think even JR told him in moderation, which I feel like JR is now currently a drunk.
Yeah, I feel like JR is a dick because I know all the Kenny moves, and I'm not even his opponent. Like, it's pretty much what happened. With this segment, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, maybe they should have had a face-to-face. They had their interviews and whatever, and then they had that, like, very romantic video package of them.
Yeah. It's so unnecessary.
Well, I forgot the song already. I feel like I was saying we belong together.
It was a Cinderella song.
Yeah. So they had that very romantic, that bromantic ending to their thing, and they went with it. And I was all for it because I was like, "Oh, this is happening." It was cheesy, but you know what? I was all for
it. So we move on to Trent versus Miro. So they show it like a head-to-head kind of interview that was probably done online where Trent said Miro was his young boy in FCW, which from the translation I got from Jericho was you basically the young boy is a slave to to the old boy.
Yeah, it's indentured servant if you want to be political about it, or no, but it's pure slavery.
Yeah,
you're the rookie. You're the guy that carries my bags. You wipe my ass after I shit. Little stuff like that.
Yeah, and then so much shit happened in this match where it was like nonsense. Where you had Kip and Chuck fighting and then leaving ringside, then Penelope Ford slapping Orange Cassidy, who then gets stomped out by the Dark Order.
Yep. Yep.
And then Miro picks up the win after Trent attempts a springboard but falls. And then Miro hits him with what looked like a thrust kick and then into the Accolade, which... Is he calling it the game over now?
Game over! Yeah. Instead of Rusev Crush's game over.
Do you think all the momentum of Rusev being in AEW has worn off already? Because like he had he had this big entrance of like, wow, look at me, I'm here, kind of bullshit. And then now he's just like, he's just had his first match.
Yep, he's had his first match. He was victorious, whatever. But the showing to me wasn't as impressive. To me, Trent outshined him in the match. And various other people, since making their debut and coming into AEW, have been more of a thought. Like Eddie Kingston and Mox and whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Seems to be a bigger deal. And just so much on. Even John Silver from the Dark Order seems to be a bigger deal than Miro. Like, to compare, I have to compare him and Lana's career right now. If I was to buy stock into either one of them, I think I'm buying stock into Lana. Because he's going with this for a gamer, you destroy Alan's storyline with the best friends, which makes no sense. He should have just had an easy squash where he just beat somebody down, but instead Trent has pushed him to the limit, and the only reason he won was because of I guess a slip on the rope. And I told you this in our pre-show meeting that I had to go rewatch AEW this morning just because I couldn't remember a lot of the stuff from AEW, even though I was fully awake and functional. I just couldn't remember this match at all. Like, I was like, Miro had a match, and I don't remember it. And then going to rewatch it, I see why I don't remember it, because I easily forgot it already again. Like, it was just forgettable. He should be a big deal and a monster. And I guess he's a heel. I didn't even know that until this week, that they were the heels in this feud.
And then we get a promo from Team Taz where he said he spent 3 hours sat outside Tony Khan's office to get 2 minutes of his precious time. In my notes, all right, did he try knocking?
Did you see a text? Call him like, I'm outside, right?
Yeah.
TK, I'm right here.
So he said the production assistant basically said he's busy with people that are actually on the show, on the pay-per-view. He makes reference to the ranking system, which Taz believes in. So he lists that.
I know.
And which also contradicts what Kenny said about being a sports-based product and then rankings mean things. So Brian Cage is 10-1 and is ranked number 1 in the rankings. Ricky Starks has won 10 out of his last 11 matches and isn't in the top 5. Says Darby and Cody are a lot alike. They are both entitled, both spoiled, both given everything they want, which I believe is true.
Yes, 100%.
Like Darby Allin has probably had the most title shots out of everyone in AEW.
Yeah, and when Cody at the end was talking about you can't bitch about that the company doesn't like you. No, you've had title matches on title matches. You have world title matches. Hell, I think he had a tag title match.
I think he's had
two. He had 2 world title matches and I think a TNT title match. And he's having another match. He's having all this stuff and is giving all this. He gets video packages every week. Team Taz, who look like a family who just wants to get paid because they are not on the show, had a valid argument this week of like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Like, they seem like to be. I really enjoyed everybody in the group this week. Brian Cage is useless on the microphone, but Ricky Starks' complaints and Taz complaints all made sense.
Yeah.
And TK needs to get his shit together because it's bullshit that they have all these wins, that they're doing this. At least it feels, but for the most part, it does feel like it was the F the world group at this point because they are being screwed over.
It does, but do you know what? The other end, there's 2 sides to this coin. There's so many people with really good records in AEW, and there's so many people with really shit records in AEW. Yeah. So
like, Private Party has the worst record I've ever seen anybody have for a team that's always on TV.
I must have watched one match last week from AEW Dark, which was Peter Avalon versus the Dungeons and Dragons guy.
Brandon Cutler.
Yeah.
There has to be a winner.
There has to. So the person, I think Brandon Cutler got the win after he got distracted from getting slapped by Leva Bates for throwing the books in the ring and trying to attack Thing with the books.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
That was their first victory. That was about who can get their first AEW victory. Very shitty record.
Yeah, but as you mentioned the Private Party, we move on to the Private Party versus Young Bucks, where Sammy Guevara attacks Matt Hardy during the Private Party entrance. Now, I watched the feed from Fight TV, and the way they handled that whole situation, you would have thought Matt Hardy died.
Oh,
it was long. It was so long for them to get him out from ringside, and then you got the Private Party just like walking around the ring. I'm like, show some concern, guys.
This is some white man that follows us. We don't honestly care. We don't care. One, the pairing of Private Party and Matt Hardy to me still makes no sense. Just let them be on their own, or find him a manager that does make sense.
Yeah, no, they need a better.
I'm sure there's somebody out there.
Matt Hardy doesn't fit the gimmick.
Yeah,
like
he's not out there down shots.
Backstage in not televised things, yeah, Matt Hardy could be a role model, but like when you're in the ring, when you're on camera, Matt Hardy just definitely doesn't fit the gimmick of the Private Party. I don't know who you could pair with them in AEW, but they definitely don't fit the mold of a Matt Hardy kind of vibe.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some old black wrestler that you can dig up and be like, this person works for him. I don't even care if it's Stevie Ray and Booker T's brother. I'm sure you can find somebody out there. Like, I feel like it makes sense. Even if it was like Monty Brown coming in randomly to be like, I'm going to be you guys' manager, do your talking. Even though that would be amazing to me.
So as we would
make more sense.
As we were talking about records, Emo did say that there was not a lot of quality wins though. But a win is a win, Emo.
Quality wins don't mean nothing. This was the NFL, and you won, and you have a good record because you beat up the abysmal NFC East for the most part. Wins are wins. Wins or wins. You're still a playoff team at this point.
I'm calling you out, Marcus. You may owe me money in a couple of weeks.
I know. I saw. I've been paying attention to the record. I was like the Bucks are running away with it. And I don't think the Patriots can recover. What the fuck? Who knew Cam Newton was bad? Who knew?
I told you.
You would think, I thought, it was the team of Carolina and that, he could reform his glory days with Belichick, and Belichick has his man that's going to replace Tom Brady, but apparently none of that made sense anymore. Not this year.
So the match was actually really good. Matt sold his messed up ankle the whole time, while Jericho kept saying they were stupid to take the match on so close to the pay-per-view, knowing full well the state of Matt's ankle. And then FTR attacked the Young Bucks after the match, where Hangman and Omega make the save, as FTR was going to damage the ankle again with a chair, but it took too long for them to come out. Like you had Dash Wilder stalling.
I get it mixed up. Dax Wilder or Cash Wheeler. I get it mixed up.
So one of them was stalling for time by removing his jacket before he jumped, because obviously removing your jacket is going to add 100 times more impact.
Well, it's about aerodynamics right there. That's physics. I don't know if you ever jumped off the top rope with the jacket on. You go slower.
Wait. Are we talking about?
You're less accurate.
We're now talking about drag and wind resistance now, are we?
we are. Push and pull, man. You gotta know. This is basic physics 101. I've seen an episode of Mythbusters of them jumping off the top rope with the jacket on and jacket off. Wow, that sounds terrible. That's the episode where the Mythbusters were jacking off. But it's just facts. But the main thing that was slow was the save. Hangman Page was running out there in cowboy boots and a drink in his hand, and pretty much just slowly coming out there. I think he had time to jump on that leg. He had time.
Yeah, he had plenty of time. He could have done it about 3 times in the space of time they made the save.
And then Kenny is really late. Like, I don't even know what his plan was, but he was coming out super late. Or was he just coming out because, Hangman Page is out there? I kind of look bad not coming out.
Yeah, and then they had this long stare down after FTR left ringside. I was like, one of you has to do something. Like, he had an empty glass. I would have smashed it on Kenny's head or something.
Okay, and I know I have something, and I know this is late, but I'm coming back to it. I feel like they forgot about this storyline of FTR and Hangman Page betraying the Bucks. So I feel like we never got a follow-up of that betrayal. Or Hangman Page never went to FTR and was like, what the fuck, guys?
No. So all through, I haven't watched it in a couple of weeks, but for the last 2 times I watched it, on Being the Elite, you've got Adam Page trying to apologize to the Bucks. And each time his apology goes wrong.
Oh my god! Where is this information?
They don't put it out.
They're horrible communicators. They are horrible communicators on AEW because they don't translate stories. And then on top of that, of being forgetful, Team Taz came out there. No mention of Will Hobbs, which was like their main objective at one point. To like say, are we recruiting him? We gave him a week. It's been like 3 weeks. And
didn't he say something on the way out? I think he said something on when they were making an entrance, but he said something along the lines of like, "I'm still waiting" or something. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, I thought it was all about Tony Khan. I can't recall the whole if he said anything about Will Hobbs, but I was like, I think they forgot about that. I feel like they dropped that for a week or so for Taz to go out there and bitch them on.
So on to the best moment of the night, which was the Eddie Kingston and John Moxley standoff, where Eddie Kingston says he's going to destroy Mox, take the title, and then give it to his mum and say that's the reason she doesn't have grandchildren and that's why he doesn't have a wife.
That is not a good reason at all. That's a lie. That is a lie, and I'm calling bullshit.
I was like, if that's enough to satisfy his mum, that is that is some poor motherhood.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. And if I'm his mother, I'm functional enough to call bullshit on there. AEW's been around a year.
Yeah,
that's it. Like, what were you doing the other 36, 7 years of your life or whatever, 20 years of your life when you could have been getting me grandkids? What have you been doing all this time?
Well, that's the other thing he said. He was like, the AEW title is all that matters in their sport. No other championship means that much. But that title has been alive for about a year and a bit.
Yeah. This is literally saying Baby Jesus was bigger than Jesus. Not to bring religion to this, but he's giving all the credit to Baby Jesus in the year run. That's the reason I do everything. It's for Baby Jesus. It's not for the real Jesus.
And then Mox says loyalty is a bitch, but he never thought he'd get burnt by Eddie. Mox made a promise to Eddie's mother that the same mother that has not got any grandchildren, or a daughter-in-law,
or a title on her shoulder.
Yeah, that he would look after him and always have his back, no matter what trouble he caused to himself. He says Kingston's made a promise to his mum he can't keep because he can't beat Mox, which is harsh.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great promo segment, even when it ended, and it was like, you better get ready to kill me. You better get ready to kill me.
You gotta kill me. You better get ready to kill me. You better get ready to kill me. And then John Moxley at the end of it goes, shit, I don't think I'm ready to do that. Crazy. He really talking about dying in that ring. I enjoyed the segment. To me, the MVP of the segment was Eddie Kingston's jersey from Above. I don't know if you know the movie Above the Rim.
No.
Starring Tupac and Dwayne Martin and Marlon Wayans and Avon Barksdale from The Wire. Well, anyway, it's all circled on street basketball and it's like teams and them trying to get it together. And so at some point, Tupac's team with Avon Barksdale, aka the black dude from Remember the Titans, gets upset and he draws a gun to go shoot the other members of the team. Leon is his name. And so that was a throwback jersey to that. And I was like, you know what? Eddie Kingston's amazing. No one has that jersey. No one has that jersey. But Eddie Kingston.
It's funny you mentioned Tupac because we got the return of Tupac and he was on AEW. There he is. Look at Tupac.
Look at him. Look at him. That's Tupac. It was at least a 12-pack at one point. Oh, this dude's been home, alone, brooding. I'm assuming he has no family, wife, or kids. Just me and miserable. But he will be making his return soon. And I kind of want him to be a Super Saiyan. Because if he's only been training, I want him to just come back and be like, oh shit, you're moving in slow motion. I am a fucking monster right now. That's how much I've been training. Like someone goes and clothesline him and they don't feel it. I want full Dragon Ball Z. He's been on a hyperbolic time trainer for 7 months or whatever it's been.
He actually sounded like a menace the way he delivered that promo, like a psychopathic menace. And the only thing I had a problem with was the fact that they were hyping it all up. I thought he was going to be in the arena, but it was a video package, which worked.
He's still abroad.
Yeah, which worked for me anyway. But like, it does feel like when he wasn't fired from WWE and he was just at home, and we just didn't hear from him for a very long time. When he walked out of WWE, and it was just like he was gone. It was like, what's going on? Which he also referenced in his promo, which I thought was great.
He's just sitting there being miserable. Like I mean, I believed every minute of it. Dude had no TV. I feel like just sitting at home, like fuck this. This is some bullshit. And saying that at least 800 times every day. Like going to the fridge like 80 times. He just quarantined like everybody else. What do I got in the fridge? Oh, nothing. Again. Gonna go work out.
We move on to Nyla Rose versus Red Velvet, who has picked up 2 wins since we last seen her. She's now 2-9.
Yeah, one of them was because she teamed with Brandy in a tag match on Dark. And the only reason I know that is because I was reading the ticker and I was going to, Jesus, AEW Dark has so many goddamn matches. And I was like, oh, Red Velvet got to win.
And then Nyla Rose destroys Red Velvet, hits the Beast Bomb, but then also hits Shida's Tommaso for the victory. Then Vicky Guerrero gets on the microphone, renames Brandy Rhodes' job title to no longer the CBO, which is the Chief Brand Officer, to the CBSO, the Chief Bullshit Officer, which is 100% true.
She has no job. She runs AEW Hill. She has no job, really.
And then tells Shida to enjoy her last 3 days of being a champion, followed by Tommaso.
Yeah. And that sets Shida off.
Because it said, excuse me in Japanese.
Shida was upset. Everybody was upset from that. I don't know what they were trying to do here. I feel like they put more hype on Serena Deeb and Allison Kay on the buy-in, had better hype to their match than
Who is Allison Kay? I've never heard of this woman.
She's from NWA.
Okay.
I believe at one point she was in TNA and her name was Sienna, I think. But she's the former champion before. She's the one who Thunder Rosa beat to be the champion.
Okay. So I've got to get out my gripe with AEW this week, and it's the same one I said a couple of weeks ago. I let it go last week, but this week it just seemed to be really bad. And they somewhat fixed it 45 minutes into the show, but every recorded segment they had, there was echo all the way through it. Like you were getting the audio coming from the speakers from the actual arena rather than just having the raw audio, which I know they can do because they've done it before when they had the audience, like when they first started. So it's not out of the wheelhouse. And then there was a lot of times, especially in the Kenny Omega and Adam Page sit downs, where it was like, I can't really hear what they're saying.
Yep. I don't honestly know why they can't figure this out. Audio doesn't seem like it's that hard. We do audio and video on this show without any issues, maybe an echo every now and then. But you know what? We fixed that echo. I don't understand in a multi-million-dollar company, they can't fix these issues. Like in various segments, like when they would cut the packages, you hear people in voiceovers talking. Like, it seems like, and then JR be talking, he's like, oh, I'm not supposed to be talking right now. And I'm going like, man, they need to get their shit together. They need a director.
There was another, I don't know what video package came right after Nyla Rose hit Shida, but you could hear the crowd yelling, chanting for Shida all the way through this video package. It was just like, you guys really sort your shit together. Like, I was getting called out for like, oh, I'm complaining about audio issues, but like, I would rather have poor picture quality but decent audio and still be able to hear everything perfectly and make out what's going on the screen, because if you have shit audio, you're not really going to stick around to watch the video.
No, to me it just shows a lack of caring, and like they should really try to address this, and that they haven't addressed this in this over a year in. Like, this is over a year in. They don't give a damn about this production side of audio and video. Like, they don't have it together, and it seems like if this was going on in WWE, like, I could never see Vince McMahon allowing his audio quality to do that. It's one thing about Vince McMahon, he always produces the best quality, and if something is wrong with his audio or some other things like that, it is corrected. He will try to find his way. They will, as a company, find a way to correct something.
Yeah.
And I don't see that AEW, in which they're not, they refuse to color in the lines in the goddamn coloring book. Just color in the lines, make it look right and sound right.
It works if you're doing a backstage interview and it's live. It kind of works because that bit, it works a little bit because it might happen because you're backstage.
It's always like with The Rock. Like with The Rock, when you eat the millions and millions.
Yeah, but you can't always But even then, you didn't have the echo of whatever The Rock was saying. You may have a slight feedback, but this was all the way through. Like, that was my proper gripe with this, because it took away from what you were trying to watch in a video package. Like, you can go back and look at their Twitter for whatever they did, because they always put out videos and stuff like that from the show, and you can see how bad it is.
I refuse to do that.
Yeah, so
I enjoy life.
So moving on to the main event of the show, we get the Dark Order versus Cody and the Gun Club, who appear to have joined the Nightmare family, as well as someone I can't remember their first name, but the other name is Johnson. And
is it Lee Johnson?
It might be Lee Johnson.
It's just some Johnson. They added a black guy. That's all I say.
On commentary, they said that Billy Gunn was 57. And look at his body. Look at his body compared to Jericho's.
Well, look at Jericho's body compared to R-Truth's. Like, these two are legends. It's just being in shape in their 50s.
R-Truth's like 48.
Yeah, but he's still, Jericho's like, a year older than him.
Oh,
Jericho's done.
If you're bored
during this,
if anyone's bored during this lockdown period, go check out the New Day podcast with R-Truth. He does it in character for the majority of the part of this of the podcast, where I feel like, much like me, Big E could not take the bullshit. He was calling it out all the way through.
Not being a character, but no. I appreciate old school interviews of wrestlers. Honestly, I prefer wrestler interviews in the public when they're in character more than I prefer their actual interviews when they're trying to be normal. Like, if I see a wrestler on TV, I want them in character.
Well,
I want that character in the real world.
R-Truth was claiming that he was watching John Cena on Saturdays while he was growing up. So it's a really good interview. So I suggest everyone go watch it, listen to it. So this match was all right.
Shit.
Austin Gunn hit the crossroads, followed by the I think it's the gunslinger.
Whatever.
It's a quick draw, and then he gets a pin. Cody gets on the mic at the end of the match, says that Darby is telling people TNT don't want him to be the face of the network as he's too reckless. He says that he was the one that recruited Darby, and the rest of the EVPs wasn't sold on Darby, so he had to wrestle him himself. And then he said this line, which he left the Empire, went to the war, and actually won, and pissed a lot of people off. Cody then refers to the title as the Ace belt, and Darby isn't the Ace.
He's not. Cody's not the Ace either. Cody is not the Ace of that show. Here's my problem, and I know you may have loved the match. The match is fine, whatever. This is no main event. And I want to argue with both shows, NXT and AEW. I feel like the main event just left something for there. Like, I enjoyed Tommaso Ciampa and Velveteen, but it just ended after the match. I was like, there should be an angle after every show. For me, this match with the Gun Club and Darby, I feel like it didn't have the heat of what Mox and Eddie Kingston brought, or any of the other segments, or the Bucks and FTR. Even though I was against the run-in, at least that has something going. Cody going like, "See you later, Darby Allin, when we fight for the TNT title." Bang, end of the show.
Well, to be honest, Mox and Kingston should have ended the show.
They should have.
That was the highest point and highest energy of that entire show. Like, Cody's promo was okay, but like, it wasn't like, oh, let me go buy the pay-per-view.
Yeah, let me see what happens with Darby Allin and Cody. That wasn't the selling point. The AEW championship is the main championship of this promotion, and I feel like that was lost into this shuffle because Cody has now made this TNT title the main title.
Yeah,
it is now the main title.
Cody off air tells people that he's got his name back, so he can now be called Cody Rhodes.
I don't care.
Fuck your title, Cody.
Yeah, fuck your title, fuck your name, man. Do whatever you want. It's your company. It's your world, man. If you
We're just living. It's your world, Cody. We're just living in it.
Yeah. Like, there's no reason for the Guns to be in the main event. That was my whole gripe with the whole thing. The Gun and John Silver and Tin and Colt Cabana. Like, what is there was nothing about this main event that made me go, wow, I need to stick around for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I would not have stuck around. If it wasn't for the show, I would not have stuck around for that main event compared to watching Velveteen and Tommaso on the other channel. It just seems like a much better matchup.
So if we move on to NXT, it kicks off with Ember Moon versus Dakota Kai, and I thought this was a really good opening match. But as someone, I did some research. I did some extensive research whilst I was at work today, Marcus. So I called the I called the Bad Bitch hotline, and just to go through their records. Because Ember Moon appears to be
wait. Hold on. You called the Bad Bitch hotline just for their records?
Yeah. Freedom of information.
Not to hook up with their bad bitches. Not to hook up with any bad bitches.
No, I just needed to be sure. So they said that. Because Ember Moon's trying to be a bad bitch. They said they said they got a record for Ember Moon, but she's only subscribed to their basic bitch package. So.
Damn. For the record, I don't believe Manny is calling Ember Moon a bitch. He's referring to her as a bad bitch.
A basic bitch.
A basic bitch. Yeah, he's just calling her a bitch. Damn it.
Dakota Kai wins the match after a distraction by Raquel Gonzalez, leading to Dakota hitting her finish. It was a really good opening match. What did you think about it?
Shocking. I was shocked that Ember Moon didn't get this victory over Dakota Kai. Because Dakota Kai takes pins. Dakota Kai eats pins all the time. Like, I expected her to, eat another one. Eat two more.
Can you hear that, by the way?
I do. Sounds like people are farting fireworks. That's what it sounds. But shout out to El Luchador, wherever he is, but pop is actually happening in the background.
So this led into Killian Dane and Drake Maverick versus Everrise. I didn't understand why we needed this match again.
Wait a minute. You needed this match. He called him a bozo. And at one point, Drake Maverick got disqualified for attacking them with chairs. I believe they had to get their will
Hold on.
back.
So you would be willing to come back to this show for the follow-up for this?
Yes. I need this to be followed up.
You needed closure. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I needed closure. Because we left on a DQ last time we saw these four in the ring together, and it was unsatisfying. And I needed closure. I needed Killian Dane and Drake Maverick to get their hands on Fat Jackson and the other guy.
So obviously this match is into the DQ as Pat McAfee and the boys turn up in the middle of this match, and this is how you know this match wasn't important. They cut the audio and everything from this match to go to them arriving in the parking lot. And then
get this correct, Manny. They had no clue who was arriving. Big Joseph goes, "Oh, what are we looking at here?" They cut to something that they didn't even know what was that. Just someone pulling up in the parking lot was more interesting. When they made the parking space. Is he going to park in between the lines? That's how uninterested the announcers were into the match of Drake Maverick and Killian Dane.
You know what, the last time this happened? The last time I actually remember this happening was when Keith Lee got burnt. And they played Keith Lee just moaning all the way to the back, refusing help.
Was that also Drake Maverick and Killian Dane?
I don't know if it was Killian Dane, but it was definitely Drake Maverick.
Because I feel like they were attacked, right? That's what started this tag team. They were attacked by Undisputed Era right after Keith Lee was burnt, I think, to death.
Yeah. So,
so history has repeated itself as the kings of the brand have shown up.
So Pat McAfee and the boys are now in the ring. Pat McAfee's holding one of the cameras, and we get this selfie.
That's the most interesting Danny Burch has ever looked. I just want to hear drunk on a night out.
I want to point out Pete Dunne actually looks like he was a designated driver for this night.
Yes.
Or he was just an Uber driver that came to pick these fuckers up.
Just some guy that was like, hey, man. Or they're the drunk friends that show up to your workplace. Like,
yeah.
Guys, I'm trying to do my job here. Why are you doing this? Don't do this to me.
So Pat McAfee said that Pat McAfee says that you are looking at the 4 greatest men to come together in history of the wrestling business. They claim to run NXT now. To commemorate the Undisputed Era's achievements, they want to hang their flag in the rafters. Pete Dunne says he decided to teach Kyle O'Reilly the same lesson since Roddy turned his back on him when Pete Dunne decided when Roddy decided to join the Undisputed Era. And 1 and 2 basically said that they were overlooked because of the Undisputed Era, and they decided just to burn the flag instead, which wasn't even that impressive. The fire wasn't even that impressive.
It was the message. How much they can't burn down the CWC? They really did a basic burning of something. This is not a real burning. I'm sure if they had a full arena or Thunderdome, they would actually burn that shit.
If you're going to set fire to something, you call the man, you call Kane, and go, how do I set fire to this thing?
Kane, I need you to teach me fire. One more time. How do I blow shit up? I was okay with the fire. I enjoyed McAfee, who was just really hyped and all this. And then Pete Dunne, the continuity of Pete Dunne bringing up that you betrayed me. On top of that, I really appreciated WWE's company's continuity as a whole, with Mustafa Ali giving reasons why they attacked Tucker on Raw, talking about this motherfucker was turned on Otis.
Oh, he betrayed Otis.
You saw the work I put in as being a hacker to get him and Old Manny together. Therefore, I need to attack your ass. Justification.
So now we get the boys leaving the arena. Killian Dane gets a car door slammed into his head for attempting to take out Pat McAfee by Pete Dunne. Have they already made a bigger impact than Retribution?
They have. I feel like they have rebelled against their brand a lot better than anybody has rebelled against the brand, because they're being paid by Pat McAfee, and they all have the probable cause. We still don't know why Retribution is getting retribution. Okay, there's still no reason behind D.O. Madden being cockeyed and Mia Yim having fits of spiders attacking her. We don't know what's going on with these fools, or what the hell is a Shane Thorne. We have no idea what's going on with that anyway. But once again, NXT proved that being in the parking lot is the most dangerous day to be in NXT. Killian Dane walked up to that parking lot, got his face smashed into a car door because Pete Dunne went too far. As everybody looked at him.
And then Jake Atlas just rolls up and hits Raul Mendoza with a pipe and drives off. Santos Escobar looks on. The fuck is that guy?
So, man, can I take back something?
Yeah.
Honestly, NXT and their production is justified to cut to the back of a car pulling up in the NXT parking lot because they know some fucking violence is going to happen. It's going to happen to somebody. I mean, it's like breaking news. Car pulled up in the performance center. Let me go out there and see what's going on. Because it could be Jake Atlas with a bat, it could be Raul Mendoza and them kidnapping people, or it could be Pete Dunne killing Killian Dane with the car door. You never know.
I'm just saying, if I worked for that company, I'd be parking my car inside.
I wouldn't bring my car. Wouldn't even bring my car.
That's even worse. You get jumped on the way out. No chance of escape.
I'm going to have like Goldberg security walking into that place. You're more likely to get killed in a performance center from either COVID or getting attacked by someone randomly in the parking lot. It is worse than Compton. It is worse. I don't know what the equivalent of Compton is in where you're at, Manny, but it's probably the equivalent of that as well.
So I can't really say because it would have been Brixton in London because that's normally quite rough. However, that's kind of got what's the right word when they make up a gentrified? Yeah. Where a load of hipsters now live, and it's no longer the Brixton of old.
Hey, sorry, you want to fight? Yeah. Like, damn it, we're soft. Fucking soft. Everybody fights
us. So we cut to at home with Johnny Gargano as he explains he's not a hater of wheels, he's a lover of wheels, and he's playing. And what game was he playing? Was it Life?
Life. It was Life.
And he's playing the game with this guy, the person in the Scream mask. Then we move on to Toni Storm versus Shotzi Blackheart. Where Shotzi comes... Go on.
Do you want to talk about the guy in the Scream mask? Or do you want to wait till after the Shotzi?
Yeah, let's finish the Shotzi thing because then it ties it all together. So Shotzi comes out yelling at Toni Storm about where the fuck's her tank. You can hear Toni go, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, essentially.
Is that what that was about?
Yeah. And
okay. I thought she was pissed about some shit Toni Storm said. Talk about like Halloween's over. You ain't gonna get your shit.
No.
That's why she was pissed.
Yeah, you can just about hear it.
I had a miss out.
Yeah, you could just about hear it.
Okay. I had a miss
and then I hear the Australian going, I don't know where your tank is. And then you've got Vic and
complete misinterpretation of this.
No, but I don't. There definitely needed to be a bit where backstage you've just where's my tank instead of this happening, because then you've got them scrambling on commentary with Vic Joseph trying to explain that how much the tank means to Shotzi, where it expresses her freedom and all this stuff. I was like, okay,
her brothers in the military. Or some shit. I didn't care. I thought she was pissed at Toni Storm for some shit she said in the video package. And I was like, damn, Shotzi took a lot of that personal. Like, fuck you, Toni Storm. Let's go.
And then there was I think it's a botch where Shotzi goes for...
It was a botch.
And then I think that changed the total outcome of the match before they went to break. Because it was just really all over the place. But like, it was a decent back and forth, but it was just all over the place before they went to the break. And then when they came back from break, it kind of leveled out, and then it turned into a decent match. And then this is the one thing that didn't make sense. So Shotzi's hit this apron DDT again, which for the second time I've seen it, and the second time I've seen it, and it doesn't look safe. Like, I think she nearly killed Dakota Kai the last time she did it. And then this time it looked like she just dropped Toni Storm on her face.
Yeah. And I was like, God, Toni.
So the referee's doing the 10 count. And then they said on commentary, Shotzi's going to break the count and gets into the ring. But shouldn't he have counted out Toni Storm?
Yeah.
Because they didn't show Toni Storm in the
checking
ring.
on Shotzi. I understand a little bit of, I'm going to check on Shotzi. That's normally what happens when somebody gets to the ring. But after that check-in, back to the count. Back to 9 and then 10. But Toni Storm got to take a nap as a video package of Candice and the Tank happened. And to me, that made no sense at all. I wanted Toni Storm counted out. Counted out. Yeah. She lost the match. Shotzi beat her ass. She knocked her out. And with that being said, I thought, before we get to the Candice reveal and the finish and all that, I thought the botch added to the match. It was a rare moment of a botch that went terrible. Like when she slipped on the rope and she fell over. It did give the feeling that she was really amped up and pissed, and she slipped and got her ass beat for it.
Well, you do make mistakes when you're angry like that. Like, you're not really focused on what you're doing. So it definitely does like add to the match. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I feel like it was a botch, but it was a good botch. Like, it's very rare when that happened. Like, oh, this made sense. because in the Miro and Trent match, it was a stage slip on the rope. But this one looked to me more authentic of a slip on the rope. And she was like, "Oh, she's really upset." Well, anyway, Candice is here.
And then Candice appears on the Tron Distract Shotzi, stating that she has her tank, leaving Toni Storm to pick up the win with a roll up. And then Candice runs over the tank with a Hummer and states that because she cost her the NXT Women's Championship, that now that she's destroyed the tank, they are even.
Yep. I mean, I guess that's even. Oh, yeah, there it is. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of plastic and some wires too. God damn it. Huh.
I'm just saying, Shotzi could replace that for like $50.
Yeah, it didn't seem like. I think it's not the money or the replacement of the parts. It's more that the symbolism of what happened here. The fact that Candice went to this extreme, her and the Ghostface. I really like the Ghostface with the Garganos. That's what I wanted to get at earlier. I don't know when the reveal is going to be. And I was at one moment I thought we were going to get a reveal that was Candice. And I was like, that wasn't Candice last week in the Priest match. Those shoulders were broad. Candice is a very skinny white woman. Very tiny.
So the scary mask was talking when he was with Johnny, wasn't it?
I don't think it talked. It just shook his head and stuff.
I think they said one of them said it always seems to be going in your way. So which makes me think it's a man.
Maybe. That's not a woman. It's a man, baby. Yeah. But maybe maybe Indy Hartwell has a very mannish voice. How many times have you heard Indy Hartwell talk?
I think it's Austin Theory.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He had to adopt the Gargano way to get himself find his way from quitting. And Gargano was the one that first put him on his original losing ways.
So we once again get Thatch Can School, and he gets
made my favorite segment.
He gets made to look like a fool again by I think they changed his name now, but they're calling him Austin Gray.
Austin Gray, which is a good thing. I like it.
Despite Akeem looking like a total bitch out there.
Yes. Well, Akeem, dumbest man on the planet, apparently didn't watch the previous week's segments or any segment that Thatcher has ever did. Who he asked him, "Hey man, why you hurting me? It's supposed to be an exhibition. What do you think I've been doing this every week? I'm going to hurt you. I haven't changed."
When he got him in the heel hook, he was like, "Mr. Regal, help me!"
Why are you doing this to me?
Regal's not going to help you.
Yeah. Oh, but I enjoy these segments because they're fun. It gives you stature just a psychopath. And the fact that, he put him in the choke and slide out. Like, he teaches you the rules of wrestling. A choke is illegal in wrestling. So that's why you got to get the artery. And like, whatever. He gets to the side, you glue this with your fist in him, bang, you're out. And I'm like, that's a submission reversal. This dude done taught me something. If I'm ever in a fight, I'm going to try this and see if it works. But it backfires on this black night.
So the next segment, there's only two ways to look at this, and it's all racist. Xia Li says the letters are from her family, and it's not anyone's business, except that she needs to turn things around. I've got two options here, Marcus. Both equally bad as each other. Which one do you want me to go with? One or two? Or do you want to hear both?
I want to hear both. I want to hear both.
One is a letter from the US Embassy going to revoke her visa and deport her from the United States if she doesn't start winning.
I love the embassy and threw their name into the headline. You can see it in Xia Li. What's she over here for? She ain't winning.
Okay, and now I've just thought of a third one. Okay, Boa is a representative from the Chinese delegation and sending letters that her family are in gambling debt.
Ooh, that's super racist. That hits close to home.
Or three, Xia Li is actually the little girl from the first Rush Hour that they saved.
Wow. Suya. I don't think you can use that because I believe Su Yung is the current Impact Women's Champion. So we cannot use her as being Su Yung. But I don't know where to go with this storyline. And for Regal to come over with some open mail to hand it to her, and then she has to fight Raquel Gonzalez next week, I felt I was really offended by that. Well, like, he opened that letter.
Well, first of all, there was no stamps on it, so I don't know how that got into the performance. If that was hand delivered,
it was hand delivered. It was personally. And then take care of this because Boa isn't around,
and you know for a fact he tried to read it.
He's like, ooh, shit, I don't know what this is.
And then she's asked to challenge Raquel Gonzalez next week.
She's gonna get killed.
She's gonna get murdered.
Yeah. So what is your speculation with this? Do you think this is going to lead to her in a faction or her family coming over to support? How does this seem like it's going to help Too Spicy's High League?
Have they got any other Asian people in?
Well, they're going to need Chinese.
Yeah, so
we're out.
I don't think other than Boa do they have any other Chinese people.
No, I think we're out.
Performance Center.
I kind of wanted to be John Cena using his Chinese connection back when he was really getting into the Shanghai deal, and then he's with her, and it's like, oh shit, it's John Cena. He's evil as fuck now.
No, because the only thing I need John Cena to be involved with is actually talking to R-Truth. I need that to happen.
Just him hug him out like I finally meet my hero.
And then the main event, Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream, where Tommaso Ciampa destroy Velveteen's hand.
Yes. Like, I'd love to call any offense for Velveteen, to be honest.
I'm running away.
Ciampa jumping on his hand and slamming it on Diggs.
Which, again, this wasn't a main event match.
No, it didn't seem like it had anything.
It felt on paper like it should have been a main event match. But what you received was not a main event match.
No, it was a match of Velveteen beating his ass whooped by Ciampa, and it just seemed like it led nowhere. I was expecting some type of segment to happen after. Like, after it ended, it was like, and that's the end of NXT, guys. We ended with wrestling. No controversy. No pull-aparts. The show just ended kind of clean.
I kind of could have...
No one's getting attacked in the parking lot. It was shocking.
I could have easily had Toni Storm versus Shotzi as the main event, given what happened at the end.
Over the tank. Yeah, killing the tank.
And then her screaming, like crying, Toni Storm even feeling sad and trying to comfort her. That was the way to end NXT.
What about the Ember Moon losing to start the show? Could have been at the end of the show.
I don't know, because that was too fast paced of a match to end the show.
True. Yeah, I really had no idea. NXT was a solid show. It was just, they progressive storylines, but I feel like they got to the show. It was like, fuck, I don't know how to end this.
Yeah, and then when you compare it to AEW was all right, but like I said, I knocked it down because of all their audio issues. But other than that, it was a good show.
Yeah, I knocked it down because nothing of importance seemed to happen other than the Mox and Kingston match. Everything else was just there.
I think I have a question. So we always talk about WWE and going into their pay-per-views, and they don't always go into their pay-per-views strong. I know SmackDown kind of does now that they've got Roman, and they're hitting home with Roman now all the time. But in the past, like even Raw phones in their go home show to a pay-per-view. But given that AEW don't run that many pay-per-views, did you feel they succeeded on this episode of Dynamite?
No, it didn't get me invested in this full gear. Darby and Cody seems like a rematch that I've seen on Dynamite. Kingston and Moxley seem like it'd be something to see, but I feel like it's just going to be some, basically a Moxley hardcore match.
Yeah.
I want to see Paige and Omega. That's probably going to be good, but They didn't really sell me. I think the whole plan, they seem like they tried to sell me more on their Full Gear preview show than actual Full Gear. That's what I seem to get.
One of my, I don't know why I want to watch it, but I kind of want to watch John Silver versus Orange Cassidy.
I think it's gonna be hilarious
because John Silver is the wrestling equivalent of a child wrestling. It's like, yeah,
I'm a wrestler, Dad. I'm a pro wrestler. Look at me. That's nice, son. Go, yeah. Leave Daddy alone. Leave Daddy alone. All right, he's busy. Go ahead. Thank you.
He's basically the meme of go play with the neighbor's kid because he would be the neighbor's kid.
Leave me alone. Go away. But John Silver, the tiniest man in the Dark Order, is the only thing successful about the Dark Order.
Yeah, I know. He's the punching bag of the Dark Order as well, which unnecessary.
I don't even know. I'm assuming Brody is just taking time off. Maybe he got a little bit of COVID, a little bit of cough. Who knows?
Yeah, because he's running shit right now.
Yeah. So it just seemed like there's just random shit happening with the Dark Order that didn't amount to anything.
Yeah. So that is the end of the show.
Yeah.
We didn't have much chat going on in the show for this week. Quiet show. Yet we still went over an hour.
Yeah. Well, we covered we pulled an Eric. We pulled an Eric on AEW. AEW went 35, 36 minutes. NXT got its 30 minutes of shy. So it wasn't an even break.
Well, I think we spent a good 10 minutes on the echo of AEW.
Yeah.
And it was I checked on Twitter because I wasn't the only one complaining about it. I had to double check because I was like, is it just me? So I typed in
crazy.
I typed in AEW and I typed in echo, and it was like there was a good few amount of people going. The audio issues were pretty bad this week. So yeah, it was a solid show. They just need to up their game on the audio, and they'll be fine.
Tighten up those screws. Don't get anybody killed.
And oh wait, no, we do have a comment. It's the Tribal Beef versus El Luchador at Survivor Series. Yes, it is.
Yes. Beef Lee. AKA PPE. AKA I feel like he had another nickname somewhere in there. Nia Jax.
You know what? I am stuck with this mask now, and I don't know what to do with it.
Gotta live your life. Rob a bank. You know, good bank robbery mask. But I would like somebody to walk in your house and they say, "Looking for this mask." They see that mask, they go, "Oh,
it's you!"
It was you. Like they put it together, like in all the movies. Oh no! What do I do with this information? I'm going to the police, and you're like, "No, you want to go to the police? Huh? You want to go to the coppers? I gotta take you out." Cut the credits. Anyway, it's nice not to be in a civil war as previewed in the last episode. We're still counting numbers and stuff in America.
Yeah, because it's still looming.
It's still looming. Like a fucking bad cloud. Like a forecast over a fucking park. Like, it's gonna rain in a bit.
Getting mad at people doing counts now. So like, yeah, it's gonna loom.
Why are you counting?
I'm like, I would probably sell this to one of the people doing the counts now because they need to hide their face.
Yeah. For the record, can I still say, and I think I said it once before the show, Donald Trump, greatest heel in all the world of entertainment. The fact that he declared victory like in the middle, before anything was finished counted, is something that I feel like Jericho would do. Randy Orton, whoever the heel is, Ric Flair. It goes all the way back to people declaring themselves the victor and the champion even before they even did the match.
It's like when you see people try and call their shot, like the memory of Babe Ruth, but like, and then it just fails.
Yeah, like what just happened here? What are you talking about? I remember I was at work and I saw a thing. Trump has declared that he's the president. Like, and everybody going, falsely claimed. I don't know why he came out and said that. I won. I'm the winner. If the votes weren't in by midnight, I am the winner.
I like every story I've read of we're going to take him to the Supreme Court, and so that, and then they preference with no evidence. Like, okay.
This is voter fraud, damn it. This is voter fraud. Look, they just randomly count. There's a giant TV screen showing these people count.
I'm telling you what, though.
COVID. I want to be 6 feet away. We're going with a judge thing. Like,
say what you want about Donald Trump. He's probably one of the most relatable presidents ever. Because we all know someone like that will jump to conclusions, get really salty if they're losing, or like been proved wrong. But we'll still continue to argue the fact that they're right.
Honestly, this is lessons on lessons. I am a sore loser and a terrible winner. This is me being the president of the United States, Randy. Like, no, I'm not accepting the law. I'm going to invent a rule. If these votes aren't in by midnight on election day, whatever is voted, it stands. I win. I'm winning. All right? That doesn't matter. That is literally going into the Royal Rumble match and being like, well, if this match isn't over by 8 p.m. Pacific time or 11 a.m., I'm the winner of the Rumble. You haven't eliminated everybody. It is what it is. I don't make the rules. Sorry.
I do make the rules. I am the rule maker. That would be a good gimmick. You just change the rules mid-match.
He has the power to change the rules. I'm assuming the McMahon's done that. The McMahon's, I feel like Bischoff has done it. All the authority figures did the rule maker gimmick technically. They changed the rules.
Oh man, yeah. I don't think you're gonna have this is gonna be decided anytime soon.
No. I'm going. Yeah, it's because we're gonna have a litigation. It's definitely before the votes are in and you're talking about they're cheating. I'm suing them. I'm suing states. I'm suing Michigan. I'm suing Pennsylvania. Donald Trump, I want them to stop counting in Pennsylvania. You're winning in Pennsylvania. Oh, let's continue to go with them. No, I'm suing them. I'm suing them.
I like how he's all pissy about it because he told the Republican Party not to send in postal votes. So he's all surprised that he's not getting anything's going any higher with the postal vote. Fucking idiot.
It's such a backfire. It's so only backfire, Batman. Oh God, I'm stupid.
He's essentially
gonna be a fraud.
His campaign is basically the Coyote.
It can't be the Coyote because he wins. He wins, and I feel like he's still gonna win this. I don't even know how. I feel like this is one of those things in which the wrestler is cheating all through the match, cheating, and there's run-ins galore. Maybe a Jeff Jarrett match would be the example. Because he was running the company, run-ins all through the match, there are ref bumps, and then in the end you go like, oh wow, the faces have really stopped everything. And then at the end, the last guy is on the face, low blows the guy who's with him, and it's like, what? What is happening? This is a stupid turn.
I do love the Bernie Sanders memes that are coming out. This is like, here comes Bernie with like he's running with a steel chair.
In the bank. Yeah, it's so perfect. It's so perfect.
I likened it to a ref bump count with how slow the counts are happening.
Yes.
1, 2.
No.
Oh,
the greatest, my favorite thing about this so far has been, it was one meme that just said, we're finally sending in the experts to do the counting, and it had the count from Sesame Street. It was breaking news, the count's involved. And everybody's like, thank God. Someone that knows counting.
I had a lovely thought earlier where anyone that breaks lockdown over here should be sent to America to count. That's your punishment.
Considering there's so many unemployed Americans and people who ain't doing shit right now, let's go. Let's get some counters. Let's get some people in there. I'm sure you can get some people going like, I'm not really doing anything. Like Pac. Pac ain't doing nothing. Like, let's get some independent counters from the UK. Let's fly Pac in, and all 12 of them, and we can get some counting done.
I really wish you guys did the election like the way we do it, because it's so embarrassing for some of them. So I live in the borough of Camden, but we vote for Highbury. I vote in Camden. So in the middle of the night after the count's done, everyone that was being elected for Camden, so we don't just vote for Biden and Trump or like Boris or the other one or the other leader. So there is an appointed leader of each party, but you're voting for the person that's going to run kind of your area. So it's not spread out like your was it collegiate vote? It's not spread out like that. So you don't know who's going to be running. Yeah. So all the candidates will line up and then wait for the result to be announced. So you could be standing up there knowing you've lost your job, which is the most incredible out of TV. And you're watching it at like 3 a.m. You're like, oh shit, you lost your job.
Look at this guy. So is it? I know this is going on. The show probably should have ended about 15 minutes ago, but this is interesting to me. So if you're standing up there, is there a possibility that you lost? Is there some people that's there that's just disgruntled, just sitting up there like, let me get this shit over with?
No, because they're politicians, so they can't look sad or something. So you know at the Oscars where you've been nominated and then you get the when you've lost but you're clapping, you're pretending to be happy. But and then we get like random independents running like Lord Buckethead and stuff like that. So you get things that look like this. Because that's our prime minister standing in the middle, and then you've got Elmo and a guy wearing a trash can for a head.
Why? I want that. I do want that. I like Shane. I like seeing people who have to fake it too. Like yeah. Good job. Good for you. Yeah. Fuck me, huh? Everybody, fuck me. I was going for this job. Fuck me. This is the guy I want. You know why I think this guy should have had the job? I shouldn't even interview. I should have told them in my interview that this guy should have the job. I feel like that's every company interview, whether you're happy with somebody or not. Like, it could be your friend, you'd be like, I'm good for you. But everybody secretly is like, fuck. It should be me, This fucking guy.
So I had an interesting thought, and I saw it in a tweet as well. The future president is probably shaking their ass on TikTok right now.
Oh.
Just think about that.
I really hope not. I really hope not. I'm sure The Rock isn't on there right now. But yeah. I can see, the future president was out there, chasing a Pokemon and Pokemon Go. I really want debates to come down as what shit people did when they were younger. Well, your Call of Duty score was only this. And they're going against somebody that actually served in the military.
I know, if I
did
anything impressive, my internet history or my social media history will skeletons will come out of horrible things I've said in the past.
There's part of me that wants to clean up my act, recover from every past thing, try to reinvent myself completely, run for president, only for somebody to have to listen to every episode of the Sharpshooters to find me to say something that's absolutely disgusting, offensive, and it's like, did you hear that shit he said about Chris Benoit?
Well, the thing is, they wouldn't be able to.
Damn it.
I don't think we've got all the old episodes anymore, do we?
It's the internet.
It's
always no one. Nothing's really ever gone. Yeah,
but then again, we did talk about alleged child molesters. Being pushed to the ring by children.
Yeah. Yep. They supported the Velveteen Dream. Like, it'd be so much shit. It'd be like, and I have to come out there and defend myself or have some guy say it for me. Those were when I was younger and immature. Still think it's kind of funny.
Figures, do you know what? I bet you if someone brought it up, I'd bring up the context of what I meant and still find it funny.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not even sorry. It was funny.
It was funny. Come on. You guys, come on.
And you know what? You need to lighten the fuck up.
They be like, hey, Manny, on this episode, you called Ember Moon a bitch. I said she was at the Bad Bitch Academy. Okay? You got to explain why she's a basic bitch.
Do you know like, in true heel fashion, do you know what I would do? I'd pick up a lamp, throw it at the interviewer.
Pick up a lamp.
Throw it at the interviewer. Take off the mic that I've been attached. I take off the mic that I've been attached to me, talking to it and go, you need to lighten the fuck up, and then walk off the stage.
I swear to God, if I ever get famous for anything, I don't care what the question is. It could be, it could be one of those fluff interviews where people are just enjoying the interview and you just talking and they get to know you and everything's great. But I'm going to end the interview with, this interview's over. Just can't find the microphone to take off the headset.
I just want to do that to someone one day. Just throw a lamp and go, lighten the fuck up. With it turned on.
Manny with the puns. He's even tagging us with puns. Light the fuck up. Breaking news. Manny says light the fuck up. Those lamp. Interviewer. Chill out. Throw ice on him.
Throw a book at her. Just hit you with some knowledge, bitch. Oh, this got really hateful.
Yep.
The player haters ball.
It'd be great. I feel like we should do a random interview with somebody so I can just walk out on it. Just be like, this interview. Where the fuck is it?
Who would we do that on?
I don't know.
Because maybe we're the main cast. We can't walk out on the actual interview because we're the ones that are doing the interview.
No, I got one. When we're having a private discussion with the conversation episode with the Disman, I can always get frustrated and be like, this interview's over.
Which means one of us has got to produce that to watch you do that.
Oh no!
But me or Eric would have to produce that to watch you do that.
Don't worry, I didn't. What? No. I told you no questions about that.
I'm gonna dress up in a suit and then cut away from both of that thing and then just have a full shot of me. I don't know what happened there. We have to cut that short.
Sorry about that. We had to cut that short. It was very abrupt. The interview ended when he asked Marcus how was his day going, and Marcus said, "Not that." Apparently, he has issues with the weather. He did not want to. Goddamn.
And now to Derek.
They can't find the chords.
And then now to Derek.
They can't find the chord, so you just end up just getting like, I can't find it. It's like looking for your cigarettes or something, or your keys. Like what?
If on one of those interview shows, I want to be the person that is actually behind. So you pause for like 20 minutes. Yes.
You answer the question. What? 20 seconds later, it's over.
The worst part is we can't replicate that sound. What's that?
It looks like I'm exceeding my hotspot minutes. It's just got a message like, "Hey man, you're going wild with this. Let's end this stuff." Like, you're getting wild.
So, if if you want to help support the show, go to www.storefrontier.com/DSPN. Yeah, and this has been one of those weird kind of shows where we've run over, but we've talked about random stuff, which is your APW. There you have it. We haven't done it in a while, but there you go.
It's some AEW about things that excite Marcus and Manny. Walking out of interviews. Embarrassing people at the workplace who didn't get the job. Basically, part of the politics and everything else going on like that. You know.
And I've been Lord Manny Hayes. He's been
Marcus, the grand finale.
And remember, #Billy Kay deserves better.
Oh, God, I hate them so much.